What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're going to be drawing Caulifla from Dragon Ball. Let's get started in the center of our page with the bottom edge of the brow. So we're going to start on the left side. Start from the outside of the brow, we're going to curve in and then bend that down on the inside. So leave a gap and draw the same thing on the right. So we're going to line this up, curve up, and then out. Let's curl the inside of the brow. Starting on the left, we're going to come in and then up. And do the same thing on the right side. Now let's thicken up the brow. Starting from the outside, we're going to taper this so it gets thicker as it comes in. All the way towards the inside. And we'll do the same thing on the right. Now from the inside, we're going to draw two short lines coming down and then in. And then we'll curve the bottom of the eye. Starting from the left, we're going to curve up and then out. Pull that out to right about there. I just want to curve around the outside of the eye. So we'll start on the left and go out and bend that in underneath the brow. Let's add a couple lashes on the outside. Starting on the left, we draw a straight angled line coming in towards the side of the eye. Step down and draw that twice. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to tuck the iris and pupil underneath the brow. So we start at the top inside edge of the eye and draw a half circle, curving down towards the bottom and pull that up towards the top. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting from the inside, come all the way down and then back up. Now we'll move to the center and then down and draw a short curve, coming down and up for the nose. Now we'll move down and draw in the mouth. So we're going to shift the mouth over towards the right. So we'll start just on the left side, curve out and then up. Now we're going to move up and draw in the two large hair bangs over the side of the head. So in the center, we'll step up in the middle, start with a point. From this point, we're going to curve up and out towards the left, go back to the center, curve up and out towards the right. And then we're going to pull this down just around the eyes. So start on the left, curving out, around the eye, and then down towards the bottom. Let's go back to the center. We'll draw a straight line going up towards the top. Now let's draw that same curve going up towards the left and then the right. And then from the top, we're just going to taper this around and down towards the bottom point. Around at the bottom, we're just going to pull that in. Let's add a little bit of texture. From the bottom point, we're going to step up. We'll curve up and out on both sides. And we're just going to turn this down with a short line. Let's draw the edge of the hairline. Starting from the center, we curve up and out underneath the hairbang on the left. Go back to the center and do the same thing on the right. I'm just going to add some texture. I want to take this curve, step out. I'm just going to duplicate that a few times all the way across towards the outside. And then we'll do the same thing on the right. Let's move out and draw the side of the head. From the eye, we'll step out underneath the hairbang, draw a straight angled line coming down and in towards the jaw. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to round up the jaw and come down at an angle towards the chin. Round this out. Come down just underneath the mouth. We also want to round out the chin. Just curve around and up. Go up towards the right side and then round out the jaw. And then from the jaw, we're going to step up and draw in the earlobe, curving out and up underneath the hair. Now we're going to move back up and surround the head with those hair spikes. Let's start with the one in the center. From this point, we're going to step out, draw a straight line going up. I'm just going to bend this over towards the right, going up and then out. I'm just going to curve this back in and then down on the right side. And now I'm going to start layering the hair out towards the side. Let's start on the left side. I'm going to curve out and then up. Line this up on the right. We'll do the same thing, going out, then up. Now we're going to taper this down and in behind the hairbang. Down and pulling that in. Let's add another one. About halfway down this curve, we're going to go out and up. Line this up on the right. And again, we're going to taper this back in. Down and in. Let's do that again. Stepping down halfway, out and up. And then pulling that in toward the side of the head. Let's add one small one along the bottom. So right here we're going to step out and up. And we're just going to pull this down and in towards the jaw. Down and in behind the hair. And then we'll continue along the inside towards the jaw. Now we're going to go back up and add some more spikes in between. Let's start in this area, halfway down this curve, and go up and over. And we'll just taper that back down and in. Let's add one in between here. Coming out and up, and come all the way down towards the bottom. Go over to the left side, and then the right. And we'll add one more on either side. Starting out here, we'll draw a smaller one, and then go to the right. Now we're going to move down and draw on the sides of the body. Over on the left side, we'll curve out and down towards the hip, move over towards the right, and we'll do the same thing. Now we're going to connect the hips with a curve, going down the middle, and then back up. We're going to step up and draw that same curve to the top of the belt. Now let's add in the shirt. From the top of the body, we're going to step down, draw a curve, going up towards the chin, and then down. We'll step down and draw that same curve, going across. Now from the bottom, we're going to step up and draw a shorter curve going across for the lower edge of the chest. Now in the center, just up above the belt, we're going to draw a short line coming down the belly button. Let's continue working down the legs. In the center, we're going to step down, we're going to start with a point. From this point, we're going to curve up and out toward the left, and then the right, sort of aiming towards the hips. Going back to the center, curve down and out toward the left, down and out towards the right. Let's move back up to the hips. We're going to round out the leg, going out. I'm just going to pull that in, sort of aiming towards the inside of this curve. Do the same thing on the right, going out and then in. And then we're going to add the fold along the bottom of the pant. Starting on the outside, we'll curve out, round out the bottom. I'm just going to pull this up and in towards the inside of the leg. Underneath the belt on either side, we're going to draw a short curve going out and down for the pleats. Let's add in the feet. On the inside edge of the left leg, draw a straight angle line coming down towards the heel. And the same thing on the right. And then we'll round out the bottom of the feet. Starting from the heel, we're going to curve down and then up towards the toe. And then from the toe, we'll draw on the top of the foot, curving up. And I'm going to bend this down, aiming towards the heel. We'll stop right about there. And then from the top of the foot, we'll draw a straight angle line going up underneath the pant. Now we're going to move back up and draw on the arms. We're going to start halfway down the side of the body, curve out and down towards the wrist. Line this up on the right, and we'll do the same thing. And we're going to go back to the left side and draw on the thumb. Draw a small half circle from the wrist, going back out. And at the end of the thumb, we'll draw a bracket. Let's do the same thing on the right. Start with a half circle for the thumb, and then a bracket. Now we're going to add 3 fingers on either side. So we start at the bottom curve of the thumb, come down, and then pull this up around the bracket. You step down, curve down and up the second finger. And then the third finger, we're going to start out here, curve out, Round up the arm. Now we're going to pull this up and in behind the head. Let's do the same thing on the right. Start with the first finger, step down, and then the third finger, we go all the way around, up and in behind the head. Let's add in the wristband. Start from the top of the wrist, curve up, and then down on the outside. Do the same thing on the right. Now we're going to move up and draw that same curve, going all the way in. Let's add a little bit more hair along the bottom of the head. Starting on the outside, we're going to curve out and then down. I just want to taper that back up. Going up and then into right about there. And we'll add one more point. Curving down and out. And we'll pull this back in behind the arm on the left. And then pull this in on the right. And now the last thing we're going to do is add some texture to the hair. So let's start on the tips. We're just going to curve this out and then down, just splitting the hair in half with a short curve. And adding a small one along the sides. And we'll do the same to the ones in the back. Just working our way over towards the right. And that's pretty much it. There's Caulifla from Dragon Ball. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and check out my Dragon Ball playlist. I have a ton of characters in there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.